Hey there friends, it's Hillary of Creative Faith, and I am here today with a really awesome book review for Own Your Everyday by Dooley. I talked about this book a few videos past, and I also walked through a process in my quote journal, and I'll link that video down below. But this is a book that I would have the awesome opportunity to be on the launch team for, and so I got the digital copy and I read it super fast and I was one of the ones chosen for the physical copy, which is super exciting. So I'm going back through and rereading it. And be sure that you guys stay around till the end of the video, because I'm going to walk you through the way that I'm taking my notes as I reread it. So you won't want to miss that at the end of this video. Own Your Everyday is a book written by Dooley, and I will put the link below for you guys to get it on Amazon. It comes out in 1 week on May 14th, and it has been just such a cool opportunity to kind of watch and see how a book gets launched and just read and learn from Jordan. You guys don't want to miss out on the pre-order because you get so many extra goodies that you wouldn't get if you waited. So you get a secret podcast episode, you get a special discount code to her store, and you get a free coaching class with Jordan that I think was valued at like $400. And it's all about how you can decide what dreams and passions you should pursue next to find your purpose here. And so be sure to head to that link down below to get your pre-order copy so you can unlock all those special bonus goodies that won't be around after May 14th. So, this book was so good, you guys, and I only share about things here on Creative Faith that I love. And one of the things that I love most about it is that it is an easy read. It is like Jordan's voice is very casual. It's kind of like you're sitting down for coffee or eating pizza together on your couch. Her tone is really casual, which makes it easy to read. I really like reading. I actually have a whole playlist called, I think it was like 8 books that changed my life in 2018, which I'll link below. But I love reading, especially love reading Christian books. And some of them though, you guys, like the terms and theology that they use is like way over my head, and so I love that Jordan's book is really easy to read and understand. And so that's kind of one of the first things that I love about it. The second thing is that, you guys, there are so many tools and resources in here. So not only does Jordan share about her life, but she shares kind of practical things to put into our own lives. So I've sticky noted, you'll notice I'm like going through and adding sticky notes as I read. I sticky noted some of them. So like some of them are questions that I can't wait to journal in my little notebook. So like, what fires you up? What dreams or ideas seem totally crazy in the very best way? Write those big ideas and goals down. So I loved that idea. She also has pressure breaking strategies. So to help us like not be so caught up in the pressure of everyday life. So like number 2 says, quit avoiding awkwardness and everyday opportunities, because that is really important for us. One of the other things Jordan addresses in her book is distraction, which I feel like, especially in this day and age with social media and technology, it's so easy for us to get distracted. And so she talks about making a distraction action plan. And so she walks through some different tools and resources for us to do and apply to our own lives to help us live out and own our everyday. So that is the second reason that I love this book, because it has like really practical tools and things that we can do and put into practice to help us in our lives and walk with God. So that is number 2, the reason why I love this book. And the third reason is because Jordan just shares so much from her heart. There are her stories in here that are going to make you laugh, and there's her stories in here that are going to make you cry. But it's her life, and it's how we can relate to it and connect to it. And she takes these really good moments of her life and these really, really hard times of her life, and she pulls out these life lessons that God taught her through those, which is one of the things that I really try and do in my own devotions and my own writing, is I take these, everyday moments in life, and I try and pull out these spiritual truths and things that God has taught me through them. And so I love that Jordan also does that. So that's the third reason why I love this book. You guys need to get your hands on it, and I am so excited to see kind of how this impacts the lives of so many girls and women. And I did want to share a little thing. So there's a Facebook group with all the ladies on the launch team. I think there's like 12 or 2,000 of us who got the chance to read it beforehand. And I don't know if you guys know very much about like Jordan or her brand, but a lot of her content is towards, at least it started off as being towards kind of millennials, people my age. But this book, you guys, is for everyone, even if you're not in your 20s. There's a lady on the launch team who's in her 60s who just posted yesterday, and I loved what she had to say. She said that at first she thought she was picked on accident to be on the launch team because she's older than a lot of the ladies in the group. And she goes, I think I was picked on accident, but then I started reading and I realized how much God had to teach me. She was talking about how she was recently retired and how her husband was still working, and her kids are out of the home, and how she kind of feels like she lost her purpose. But after reading this book, she realized that that is so not true. And so I just love that about how this book is not just for millennials or college age girls, but it's for everyone who is looking to find direction and purpose in their life. And as I was reading this, God can speak to us in so many different ways, you guys. And the main reason how God speaks to us is through His Word, through the Bible. But I also think God speaks to us in a bunch of other ways. Like He speaks to us through friends, through wise words of others. God speaks to us through our circumstances and coincidences that aren't actually coincidences. And God speaks to us through, what are some other ways? Well, for me, one of the big other ways God speaks to us is through books, through Christian authors. I, of course, think the Bible is our ultimate guide to what God wants and how God wants us to live our lives. But I also think that God puts things on people's hearts and inspires authors to write and share about things that we need to learn too. And so this book for me, it was I was struggling with comparing my life to some people on Instagram, comparing my business to people on Instagram, and getting discouraged. And then that chapter I read that night was all about comparison. And then the next day I was struggling with I feel like I look fat in all my clothes and nothing fits me right. And then the next day, the chapter I read was all about our body image and, thinking about ourselves the way God thinks about us, as that we're beautifully and wonderfully made. And then I was stressing about my future and, how I'm going to support Juan and I when he comes here and we get married, and stressing about where I'm going to live next. And then guess what? The next chapter was about, trusting God with our direction. And so it was just really cool to see how, in every chapter God was like, Hillary, there's a message in here for you. And so I just wanted to share that also. So like I said, down below, you guys can check out this book on Amazon, and I'm so excited for everyone to get their hands on it in a week. So now I'm going to flip the camera around and just give you guys a really quick peek into my notebook, how I'm taking my notes as I reread it. Alright, I am going to briefly walk you guys through how I am taking my notes as I reread this book. So you'll see I have these sticky notes on the top. The book's divided into 3 parts, and so I used these 3 sticky notes. These are Avery sticky notes, and I'll link them below. They're really awesome because you can remove them, but I like the metallic colors because I think they look really pretty. And so far I've only copied my notes for the introduction, but just as I read it, I'm underlining, I'm highlighting, and I think I reread through chapter 1 too. So you see I'm just kind of underlining and starring things that I really liked. And then I'm transferring them over into here. So I use a stamp set from Joann's and stickers from By the Wall for God to make a title. And then I wrote a prayer for this book and for the launch team and for Jordan. And I used my printable prayer phrases, which I'll link below in my Etsy shop. They make prayer journaling super easy. Next, this is probably one of my favorite pages. Jordan's been sharing a lot about kind of what God is teaching her as she kind of goes through this process. And this has been her prayer for this season, and it is, God, surprise me. And so I used, actually they're on my desk here, this alphabet stamp set from Sweet and Sassy Stamps that I'll link below to do God, surprise me. So now this is what I've done in the introduction, and so I made tabs. So this one says intro, and then this says part 1, and then once I finish part 1 I'll do part 2 and then part 3. And so I'm mostly using washi tape, stickers, and journaling pens. So I just am kind of decorating the pages and writing out quotes and questions. Like if there's a question, I'll probably journal it as I go through. So just using washi tape and stickers, and I just love how this is coming out and how the pages look. So these were some of the mindsets we can get stuck in. So these are kind of some of the things that Jordan talks about in her book. So imposter syndrome, disappointment, shame, comparison, perfectionism, and distraction. And so I use some of these gold stickers. And then on this side, this cactus comes from my Seasons of Prayer Spring 4th set that I'll link below. And I'm printing it on sticker paper. And my favorite sticker paper is from Avery, and I'll link that below too. And so I printed this is from Beloved Society. I'll link her Etsy store below. She has these really pretty girls that I love to use. So am I missing the divine moments God invites me into? And then now I have part 1. Where do I start? I used a stencil for the 1, and I used a different set of Sweet and Sassy Stamps. This script, that's upside down. And so then I'll go through and I kind of make a mess on my bed, and I have out stickers and washi tape and pens, and I just kind of journal as I go through. So now, like, I finished chapter 1, so I'll probably go back through chapter 1 and copy out the quotes that I love here. So I'm excited to just fill up this journal with all these lessons that I learn from Own Your Everyday. So be sure to hit the big thumbs up button for this video and the subscribe button down below too. And don't forget to turn on the bell notifications so you guys never miss any of my Creative Faith videos. And don't forget to pick up this book. I cannot wait to hear what God teaches you guys as you read through it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!